Welcome back. This video is part 2 of Year 6 SATs Paper 1 Arithmetic. If you haven't already, please watch part 1 before this video. I have linked part 1 in the description box below, so go and check that out. Like always, you will be needing a pen and a piece of paper. After each question, please pause the video and attempt the question, then press play to see the working out and solution. So, let's go. This is the first question, so we have to work out 3 cubed. What we would need to do is to do 3 times by itself 3 times. So 3, that's once, this is twice, and 3 times. We can now simplify this by doing 3 times 3, which gives us 9, then 9 times 3, which gives us 27. Next question. 101 times by 1000. When we times by 10, we add on 1 0. When we times by 100, we add on 2 zeros. And when we times by 1000, we add on 3 zeros. So 101 times by 1000, we would be adding 3 zeros. So the answer is 101,000. 20% of 3,000. First, we would have to work out what 10% is. To work out 10%, we would do 3,000 divided by 10, which would give us 300. Then to work out 20%, we would have to times it by 2, because 10 times 2 gives us 20. So on this side, we're timesing by 2. So whatever we're doing to this side, we also have to do to this side. So 300 has to also be times by 2. 300 times by 2 gives us 600. So 20% of 3,000 is 600. Next question. 7 minus 2.25. To work this out, we would be using the column method, like this. To fill in the digit places, we would just add zeros. This doesn't affect the number 7, it's still the number 7. We're just filling in the gaps here so we can calculate it easier. So just like a normal column method, 0 minus 5, we can't do that. We have to borrow from the next number along. But this number is also a 0. So we have to move to the 7. We're taking 1 off and giving 1 to the 0 here, making this a 10. Now we have to give 1 to this 0 here. We just have to cross this out, making this a 9. Lending 1 over, making this a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. Remember to put in the decimal point. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4.75. Question 20. 0.9 divided by 100. We know that when we're dividing by 10, we move the decimal place along 1 place. We would have to do the same thing when we're moving the decimal place along by 100. So, if we move the decimal place along 1 place when we're dividing by 10, we would have to move the decimal place along 2 times to divide by 100. So our new decimal place would be here. So our new number and the answer to this question is 0.009. Question 21 is similar to question 19 that we did before. 9 minus 1.9, and we're filling the digit place here with a 0. 0 minus 9, we can't do that. To borrow 1 from this number, making this an 8 because we're taking 1 away. Lending the 1 across. 10 minus 9 is 1. 8 minus 1 is 7. Remember this point here, that's the most important part of this whole question. Now we have some fractions here. 1 3/7 minus 4/7. So we need to change this mixed number into an improper fraction. So 1 times 7 is 7. Adding it to the 3 on the top, 7 plus 3 is 10 over 7. Minus 4 over 7. Now we don't need to change the denominator, so the bottom numbers, we don't need to change them because they're both the same number. But if they were different numbers, we'd have to make the bottom numbers the same. So bottom number stays the same. 10 minus 4 is 6. So the answer is 6 over 7. Now this is a 2-mark question, and you will have to show your working out. You can still get a mark even if you don't get the right answer by showing your method. So remember to show your method clearly. 6 times 7 is 42. Write down the 2 and we're going to remember the 4. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 4 is 25. So we write the 5. And now we're going to remember a 2. 7 times 8 is 56. Plus the 2 is 58. Write down the 8. You can also write down the 5 because there's no more calculations that we need to do with the 7. So, moving on to the 2, writing our 0 here, filling up this digit space. 2 times 6 is 12. Remembering a 1. 3 times 2 is 6. With the 1 is 7. 2 times 8 is 16. Because there's no more calculations, we can also write the 1 in. So that was step 1. Step 2 is to add them together now. 2 plus 0 is 2. 5 plus 2 is 7. 8 plus 7 is 15. 6 plus 5 is 11. Remembering that 1 is 12. 1 plus 1 is 2. 22,572. Another fraction question. Now this time the denominator, or the bottom number, isn't the same number, so we need to make that the same. So they both have a common multiple of 20, so if we use 20 for our bottom number, like so. 4 times 5 is 20, so we've times it by 4. So whatever we do to the bottom, we also do to the top. 4 times 1 is 4. We've times 4 by 5 to give us 20. So we also times 5 by 3 to give us 15. Because the bottom numbers are the same, bottom number will still stay the same. 15 plus 4 is 19. That would be our answer, and we can't simplify it any further, so that would be right. This is a more difficult question. It is also a 2-mark question, but we've not done division like this before. This is a 3-digit number divided by a 2-digit number. I like to start off with writing the multiples of the number that I'm dividing by. So the number that we're dividing by here is 37. So 37 times 1 is 37. 37 times 2 is 74. 37 times 3, now that's a bit more difficult, so I'm going to work that out as a column method. 37 times 3, 7 times 3, 21. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2, 11. 111. 37 times 4, 7 times 4 is 28. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 148. I like to work it out until I get the answer to 5. So 37 times 5, this would be my last one. And if I need to do any more after this, I would do it while I'm working out the division. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 3 is 18. So 185. Usually there's no need for more than 5, but if there is, you can do that later on. 37 divided by 8, that will be 0, carrying over the 8. Looking at our multiples here, it can't be 37 because it's too small, can't be 111 because it's too big, so it has to be the 74 here. So that's 37 times by 2. Then we do 88 minus 74 to get our remainder. If you can do this mentally, that's great. If not, you can use the column method like I have done here. 8 minus 4 is 4. 8 minus 7 is 14. Carrying over the 14, making this number 148. Looking at our multiples here, you can see 4 times 37 gives us 148. So the answer would be 24. There's also another way to work this out. We would still start off by writing the multiples out. So I can remember these from before. 37, 74, 111, 148, 185. So 37 divided by 8, well, that would be 0. Then we'll go to the next number along, making this 88. 37 divided by 88, that would be here, 2, minus 74. So we write it underneath here and work it out underneath it. 8 minus 4 is 4, 8 minus 7 is 1. Now we're carrying down this 8 from here, making this 148. 148, we look over here, would be 4. So minus 148, that would give us 0. So we don't need to go any further with that, and there's no remainders, so the answer would be 24. Both of these working outs are right because they both give us the same answer. Next question. Another fraction question. Now we've got 2 whole numbers and 2 fractions. So if these 2 and the 1, if we add them together, 2 plus 1 is 3, and if we remember that for later, if we remember this for later, it'll just make it easier when we're working it out. Now we have to add 1/5 and 1/10 together. To work this out, we need to make the bottom number, or the denominator, the same. So we know that 5 times 2 is 10, so if we keep this number the same and change this 1 to a 10, that will be 5 times 2 is 10. Whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 1/10 is 3/10. Remembering that 3 from earlier, the answer would be 3 and 3/10. Thank you for watching. I hope this video has helped. Please like, share and subscribe for part 3. Thank you.